We are good to go. We are
live.
Episode 13, man.
All right, here we go, guys. We're episode 13.
We're
Man,
excited.
time is flying by, dude. So we got Cristina and Jennifer. If you guys don't know, Cristina lives up in Tampa, pretty much Tampa.
Right.
Extremely good wellness competitor.
Absolutely.
And then we got Jenn over here. Probably no introduction because all you guys know who Jenn is.
Yeah.
She's a monster. Right? But no, we're extremely happy to have you guys on the podcast. If you guys don't know, at the time of this recording, we are about 3 days out from them stepping on stage, 4 days out.
Oh, yeah.
They get on stage on Friday. So
Right.
this is their peak week. And, thank you for traveling over here.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Going for you guys' pro card. How do you
Oh, yeah.
feel right now?
I feel good. I feel confident. I feel a little bit tired, a little bit hungry, but not bad.
Same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I was feeling it this morning. I'm a little tired, same,
Yeah.
hungry. But I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
I got my first overall last week.
Yeah,
And
congrats
I've
on that.
never
so
done
nice.
that.
So
Thank
awesome.
you. I've never gotten first before, let alone obviously an overall.
Yeah.
So that was huge.
That was
So,
awesome.
so how did that mean to you when you got that?
I
you
mean,
cry?
I immediately went backstage and I cried.
Yeah.
What's his name? Jay Owens, the photographer. He was back there and he was like, I would hug you, but like you're tan. And he's like, no, you need a hug. And like he hugged me and like I like lost it. And then I went to the bathroom and I FaceTimed Dylan and like I was a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's never happened before.
It's tough, man. And plus, when you go through that many like losses, like honestly, like I competed pretty much with her on stage in the Ultimate Grand Prix, and
Oh, that's
she
right.
placed 4th out of 4.
Yeah,
And
that's
she
so-
looked-
everybody's like, how
You
many
look
was in your
great.
class? And I was like, there was 4, so I got last.
But that's the thing is, you were that good at that show. I actually thought you were extremely good. Like I
Thank
always think you're
you.
good, but that show, I was like, damn, if she got 4th, what the fuck do these other 3 people look like?
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the win the other day. I'm sure that means just everything. To you,
Oh yeah,
you know.
it meant my kids were there, my family was there. 2 of my nephews got to see me compete for the first time. 2 of my sisters, like it was just the people that needed to be there were there, and the people that wanted to be there but couldn't, like everybody congratulating me, sending me wishes. That was it.
How
Was
was your phone when you stepped off stage?
Yeah.
oh
That's
my
just-
gosh! I literally said I was like, I've never had
Yeah.
that many messages like on my phone, like
Yeah.
calls, messages, DMs. Like it was great.
Yeah.
I try to get back to everybody as soon as I could,
yeah.
but there was a lot. I was
It's
like,
tough.
oh my gosh,
You
this is
worked
great.
hard for as hard as you've been working for the past year. You've been
Yeah.
crushing it.
I'm trying.
And then you bust your ass to get to that, to that stage.
Yeah,
And
for
then you
sure.
finally hit that first place in overall, man. Yeah.
Everybody
wonderful
always
feeling.
tells me, because the girl that got first at Ultimate, she got her pro card at
Wow.
Amateur Olympia.
Oh, no shit.
Wow.
Yeah, and they were like, "Oh, at least you lost to a pro," and I'm like, "That doesn't make me feel better
Yeah.
at all." And it doesn't like I still lost, you know.
Yeah. So, Southern States, a lot of you guys who watch this podcast might not know, but that is a massive show. I'm always like careful on bringing people there because it's such a big show.
Right.
How do you think the competition was there for you?
It was okay. There was only 3 girls. I mean, not say okay, but there was 3 girls in my class, and one girl, I remember the one that was in front of me. I looked at her and I was like, man.
Why'd you have to show up?
I know, but at the same time, like I was just focusing like on me, and there was mirrors, and I'm posing, and I was just focused, and I was like this. And then when I got on the side, I saw all the judges. Just felt bad for her, but they went from her looking at her to looking at me, and I was just like, this is it.
It's done.
Like everything that I've been working for, like is
It
for
just
this
clicks like
moment
that, yeah.
right
It's
here.
awesome.
Yeah, and it was fun.
That's
It was
awesome. Man, when
great.
you're backstage too, you kind of know who showed up. Like you look around, there's always like that one person sitting in the corner, like you just know he's in shape. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's always that one person. Now you were that one person at that show. Just
Right.
like Jenn was the one person, last year, and again, women's physique is a little bit different. I feel
Yeah.
like, you could see some shows that are really stacked, especially like last nationals was stacked. But in our case, we went there and no one's even coming close to Jenn. So totally different story. We one
Yeah.
shot the overall last year, went to nationals, got second, almost got a pro
I
card.
was about to
I know.
ask you what you played.
You were so close to that.
What?
You got so close, and now taking this kind of shorter prep. How do you feel about that?
I feel good, and I feel like we made a lot of progress in the off season.
How much weight are we up now?
We're at 20 pounds from last year's stage weight.
Gee.
Yes,
Oh
and
my
my physique's just
gosh.
completely
Right.
different. Like,
And not
I
only are
actually
you,
have that X tape.
oh yeah.
So
Not only are you looking at physique though, but you're also going to do
bodybuilding too. Yeah.
bodybuilding. Yeah,
I did
yeah.
bodybuilding last year
Are
too.
you really?
We got third. We got
Oh,
third
I
in
didn't know
bodybuilding.
that.
Third in
Second in-
bodybuilding, so-
Oh shit, yeah, okay.
We'll just see where I place better this
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
I don't know if I have the size for bodybuilding, but hey, we'll try it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I ask if you changed your routine, or are you keeping it the same?
I changed it. Yep. Him and I are working on that. Yeah.
Nice.
Picked a song, picked everything. We're master.
Oh, yeah.
It's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
We're making it happen. But I think again, she's in between now, right? Like I think she probably could do bodybuilding, and we're going to throw her in that just to see how it goes. But I firmly believe that we're getting this pro card in 4 days in women's
Oh my
physique,
God,
you know?
100%.
She's hard to beat, dude. The conditioning level, and on top of the size that we have, like she just hit a posing session with Kenny Wallace, and how did that go today?
Great.
He's
yeah.
great.
Oh yeah. He was very he's been awesome. He was my coach last year too, and he was very impressed today with like my posing, my conditioning. Asked who my coach was, and he's like, "Oh my God, he brought you in!" Like, no doubt, you know. So that makes me feel good because he sees so many different competitors too, you know. So yeah, we're definitely on the right track, and I've been so solid with my posing this year. Practicing it, it's not a chore. Like last year, I remember being like, "Oh my God, I'm so tired. I don't want to do it."
It's true. By the end of it, you're like, "I'm ready to go home."
Yeah. This year was like priority. You know, I do it first thing in the morning. I do my cardio. I do my abs. I do my posing. Like non-negotiable. That's done before I eat. Eating's my reward after all that, you know?
Yeah.
So
that coffee in the morning after all of that.
Right. And your meal one, everyone's meals one's always the best.
It's like, everyone leave me alone. Let me enjoy my oatmeal and my eggs. Don't talk to mom right now.
Please, leave me alone.
Yeah.
10 seconds, you know?
Right.
That's awesome. But yeah, no, I think you guys are both testaments on like how strict you need to be in the off season to make fucking improvements. Like both of you guys just keep making leaps and bounds. And for us to put on 20 pounds of muscle on Jenn's frame, this girl was on top of it in the off season. And I think the off season is when those bodies are made. Like even Dustin's, for example, like, I mean, we put on pounds of muscle since last year's national show. And then we got out there, we still need more, you know, it's a different animal. But again, like you both are going to need more probably for the pro ranks, especially these wellness girls, man. These girls are big.
Dude.
Like
that pro stage is like a whole nother.
But then you got girls like Lily, you know, Lily Long.
Every time I tan her, I'm like,
dude, but she's not
very
that big.
petite.
Yeah.
It's her posing. It's the way she poses, and it's amazing what you can do when you know how to pose. You know, and I never thought about that until one of my girlfriends was like, "She's really not." My coworker, she's like, "She's not that big," and we didn't mean that in like a bad way, but she's she's smaller than me. She's very I don't know. Like I look at her and I'm like, dude, I can get on stage next to her, but like. No, I couldn't.
Well, if you look at like Francielli, right? Like she's not, hopefully I didn't butcher that name, but you know, she's not the biggest wellness girl, and she's winning. And if you look at like the way Tyler's placing these girls, especially when he judges, he's not placing the biggest girl. Like you could be too big for that division now.
Oh, 100%.
You can be too big, and he's not rewarding that shit. Like you see second call out girls twice as big as their first call out girls, and they're like, wow. So how did you give us the secret? Because you know, you obviously have transformed your physique. We've seen you before and after pictures. What is your secret on getting this much muscle? Is it like the biting of the shirt, or like what's your secret?
Oh my God, right? That is a secret. It's a very good secret. I saw a girl, I walked past her and she was like, I see people do this, and she bit her shirt, and I was like, and it works, okay?
You know,
no, I hamstring curl pad, right?
I definitely changed the way that I train. You know, I used to do legs 2-3 times a week, and then I aimed for off season. I was aiming for 4. And then up until as of late, Dylan changed it to 3. And we were at 2 upper body days, and then pulled 1, and then we pulled the last one. So I've only been training legs 3 times a week. That's it. And then I split it. So I do a quad, a glute, a hamstring, and then that 4th day of my off season, it was like a maintenance day. Like if I fell short on like what felt like glute day or hamstring or whatever, you know, and then calves, you know, just sprinkle. I was very blessed with my calves. I got my dad's calves, but I used to jump rope a lot. When I would do the Stairmaster, I would kind of like stay on my tippy toes, and then a lot of my walking, I kind of try to stay like so. Even when I'm not training them, I feel like I'm doing something that will help activate like my calves.
And I just feel like, you know, people are not training hard. Like I tell all my wellness competitors, and not even wellness, man, just we can talk about any division, even bikini girls, right? Nobody knows how to fucking train. Like when I see you training, you're going to failure almost every single time. You know,
it's scary when I train. Like
it's scary.
My coworkers and my friends are like, you literally sound like you're dying. And I'm like, I am a little bit. Like I am a little bit.
I'm killing myself.
Well, and that's why, like when you get that 2nd and you get that 4th, it's like everything that I've done, all the training, you know, the food and missing out on things with my children, you know, like it's just, it sucks. So when I finally did get that overall, I was like, I just kept smiling. I was like, finally, like all of that has paid off because I did it. And that's what going into, you know, USA's, I just feel very, very confident. And I kept saying that. I was like, I wasn't being like cocky saying, oh, I'm going to win. But I was like, I have a good feeling. I have a good feeling. I have a good feeling. Because I did. I had a very good feeling. I saw my befores and afters, and I'm like,
There's no way.
No. I was like, if I don't win, like, I don't know. I got to talk to somebody and figure out what I'm doing wrong, you
Right.
know?
So in wellness, there's no weight cap, right?
No, there's not.
So in what you were saying, as far as like Tyler, not necessarily placing like the biggest girls, you can be too big for that division. Do you feel like they should potentially throw a weight cap on,
I've always
I
wanted.
think
classic and that, you know,
it would not surprise me if,
Yeah, I
if in
think
the
they
next
have to,
5
right?
years they will weight cap it for sure. I think, and that'll start balancing out the physiques a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
bit more too, because it's like these girls are getting massive. I mean, and they're placing worse because they're getting
Yeah.
bigger,
Yeah.
you know. So
and then like for you, because there's no weight cap in physique or bodybuilding either, right? And they're
should
only
be.
placing weight
I'm getting
caps
Jenn about 21
on the
pounds.
man, which is ridiculous, right? So I
Yeah.
think they need to kind of like
Yeah, I think wellness, 100%.
absolutely for
Wellness
wellness
needs
for
it.
sure.
And I think we'll see that in the next couple of years here because
Yeah.
it's almost like a men's physique, right? Like,
Yeah.
like if wellness, it's a complete opposite division, right? Men's physique's all up top, don't really need legs. They've proven that, you know, this year when they place people ahead of him, you don't need legs. For you guys, it's not that you don't need an upper body, but they don't want a big upper body. Like they want your legs to be stacked, and that's
No.
it's complete opposite. So I guarantee you, we will start seeing that.
Yeah, it has
in
to
the
be,
next
right?
few
It's like Rayanne.
So-
Rayanne used to be massive. Like her upper body was huge, and I was a fan, but the judges didn't like it. She finally,
yeah.
you know, toned it down a little bit, and she finally won an overall, which was awesome. But
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. I always have people ask me about the weight and, oh, is there a weight cap? And I'm like, no.
No.
Like last year I weighed, I think stage 1, how much did I weigh? Like 115. This time I weighed 125.
Wow.
There you
Okay,
put
so
on
10 pounds.
pounds.
That's good.
Yeah. So
Yeah. That's crazy. So, I mean, talking about muscle, and this is something we hear a lot. Like, the bigger you girls get, the more people talk shit, right? They say, "Oh, that girl's a man. That girl's this."
Right.
Like, how do you guys feel?
a
when you hear
beautiful
people-
man, I say.
Yeah. But I know, like, you know, there's a lot of women that watch us that are probably scared to do women's physique. You know, maybe even wellness because they're getting big. Like, how do you guys feel about that? Like, people talking shit and just the outside world. Does
They're
that like
jealous.
hurt
They're
you guys?
insecure.
Like,
Mm.
Yep.
Especially the men, they're insecure.
Yeah.
The
Well,
majority
what
of
we
those.
bring to the table
Yeah.
that they're not. You know,
100%.
I've
Yeah.
gotten so much hate on like my TikTok lately, and it's just like, oh, like this, you know, you look like a man, and I'm like, I don't care. Like that doesn't
Yeah.
bother me. Like
Yeah.
it goes in right up. But I know people that it affects them
It does.
and it
Yeah.
hurts their feelings and it
Yeah.
puts them down. And I'm like, nah. Like I take that like a grain of salt, and I kind of let it light a fire under my butt because I'm like, that means I'm doing my job. You know, and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. At the end of the day, I go to sleep blessed. I wake up blessed, and I feel good. My kids are
Absolutely.
healthy. Like my friends, like I just,
it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks.
It
Honestly.
really-
I just
no.
have thick skin. You know, if you don't like it, who
yeah.
cares? I've been on the in the online space for like 4 years now, so you just develop that thicker skin. And you're just like, okay, unfollow me. You
Yeah.
don't like it?
I know.
Whatever.
There's push the button.
Yeah,
Go away.
exactly. Like we're doing this for a specific reason, for a specific purpose, for a specific goal.
Yep.
You don't like it? Too bad.
Exactly. And you know who really like made me realize that is Priscilla from town. You know, shout out to her. Like, she is the most feminine girl I've ever met. You hear her speak and you're like, wow, but she is a fucking tank. So I feel like there's a big misconception on that. You know, like people they just love running their mouth, man, about muscle. Like even like some of my bikini girls in like the office, like, oh, you're too big. I'm like, what the fuck? It's these insecure men, exactly what you said.
Absolutely.
They're just talking
Yeah.
shit.
I mean, I still want to maintain femininity, but like at the same time, I don't give a shit if you're gonna
Yeah,
say I'm
exactly.
like a man.
At the end of the day, muscle is the key to longevity. And the more muscle that
Exactly.
you have, the longer life that you can live, right?
Exactly.
Because
Yeah.
what's the first thing that's going to deteriorate, right? Like we were
Yep.
talking about with Dr. Rob
Yep.
and Shannon, it's all about the muscle is going to start to fatigue and deteriorate. You're not going to be able to do the things that you used to do. However, you strong women have the ability to continue life for much longer than these weak men who want to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And especially as we're
Bullshit ass
aging. I mean, I'm
mouth.
over 4. I'm 44,
Exactly.
almost 44 now. It's like if I wasn't training this specific way, I'd just be losing muscle. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're gonna hate on me for gaining it.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
exactly.
No matter what, they're going to hate on you no matter what.
It
You know?
doesn't
Right.
even matter. Yep.
So,
You're in the gym.
Yeah, and those
Yeah.
same people talking shit are those same people out at fucking the bars doing cocaine.
That's
in the
what
bathroom,
literally like I picture
drinking.
somebody like sitting on the couch drinking a beer, watching
Yeah.
TV, like no judgment to anyone, but like no, you won't take me out of the gym
Exactly.
doing that. No.
Yeah. But I think like, what's your advice to people that do take that personally? Like, obviously, you're gonna tell them not to take it personally, right? Because we've had girls on the team. You know, I'm not saying any names, but like, she was getting almost too big where she wanted to do, you know, figure pretty much. Well, she wanted to do bikini because she didn't want to be as masculine. Because she's already so big. Like she's like, and she has a couple of people say some stuff, and she really got in her head about it, you know, and she wanted to do bikini because of that. So what's your advice to girls when they hear stuff like that?
I feel like when it comes to something like that, it's not just to only say don't let it get to you, but it's just like if it's something that you want to do, like just stay the course.
Exactly. Just
Like
evaluate it. If
everything
it's-
else is a distraction, whether it's
Exactly.
good or bad, but especially bad, which in that case is negativity, you know, and if somebody's telling you, oh, hey, like, I think you're getting too big, like, stay the course anyway. If this is something that you want to do for yourself, don't fall off because somebody has a stupid opinion of you. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not, because then when you fall short, you're letting them win.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And there's
Exactly.
nothing comes from that, you know?
Yeah.
And just think about the end game too. Like, where do you see yourself going in the sport?
Mhm.
Like, do you see yourself getting to the Olympia? Because you're gonna have to keep gaining muscle and keep leveling up, you know. Or do you see yourself just doing a few shows and knocking off your bucket list,
Right.
you know? Like, and then evaluate like what are your priorities? Do you really want to get that big, or
Yeah.
you know, you're happy where you're at? But like, don't let other people get in your head. Stay the course.
Mhm.
Tell them to fuck off.
Yeah.
That's it.
I agree.
You heard it there.
I mean, it's just like people are going to talk shit when you start to become successful at what you're doing, right?
Yes.
When they start to see the improvement and like, you know, you're building muscle. Now, if you were a piece of shit and you weren't actually doing the things that you're
Oh,
doing,
for
and
sure.
not,
Yeah.
nobody would talk shit.
No. No.
And then eventually, you know, success gets so successful and they start banning you from gyms and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then you're on my level. But, you know. But no, to change it up a little bit, you know, we want to talk about tanning. I got a lot of tanning questions.
Yeah.
So
Ask away.
this girl, if you don't know, she has been tanning my competitors. I think she even tanned you
She
for your
tanned
oval.
me.
I did. I
I actually
did.
said to Natalia, oh, she's a tanning girl. She's seen me naked.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
That's Naomi with me. Naomi's like, I get to see you naked, and I'm like, yep. She's the one that always does my tan, except for California. She's not gonna do it over there, but it's okay.
Damn. Well, hopefully you know what you're doing. So you know if they do it wrong, you're like, no, you're gonna do this.
I know.
right.
I'm just gonna be like,
Yeah.
please fix it.
So when you go to tan, do you tan men as well, or
I
you
do.
Okay.
Didn't I tan you at a show?
man,
Yeah,
she's
I
seen me naked
have.
too.
Yeah. No.
So when you tan these men, does that obviously you don't care, but what's like your craziest story on that? Like the most disgusting? That's what people want to know. Like have you ever seen anything just gross? Like you're just like, I
well,
can't.
I'll tell you something hilarious. So
All right.
if it's men's bodybuilding or classic physique, you have to be either nude or sock.
Yeah.
So you ask them, do you want to be nude or sock? And they're like, oh, I have a sock. So I'm like, all right, like I'll let you get ready and then I'm gonna get you, prepped. I give them a minute and then they turn around and they have like this long, like what are those socks?
Like a tube
Yeah, like
sock?
yes. And I'm like staring at it and I'm like, I catch myself like just looking at it for a little bit, but then
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
no, I'm like, that's not gonna work. And they're like, why not? I'm like, it's too big. So my boss will have a bag of like
Yeah,
baby
like-
socks.
yeah.
They're small.
Hella small, bro.
No, that's too small. And I'm like, I promise you it's not.
Wait,
Like,
so somebody brought like a
it was like
attachment.
yeah, but it was like long. Like it was literally,
they brought a tube sock.
yeah.
oh, gotcha. They brought their own sock.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which you
Gotcha.
can,
Not
but
like a
But just to make it look
extra long
bigger.
dick attachment.
Well, I don't know. Jared. I would fuck these people.
Nuts.
yeah. No, but I haven't.
It's fucking. Oh my god, dude.
That is
What do
fucking
you mean it's too
hilarious.
big?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But it happens all the time. I have
Wow.
guys that just want to wear like overly large socks. And I'm like,
yeah.
no, that's
Like,
not going to
but,
work.
honey,
Take-
like I'm
Or
trying to
just
get
tied in a
here.
knot at the end.
yeah.
Well, something that like I always like we always joke around is like the guys with like the smallest wieners are always the ones the most confident, right? In my opinion, like I'm looking around and like the big ones are all covered up with socks, and then you got all the small guys out there, right? Is that
Yeah.
kind of like is that in your experience?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they're so confident. They're like, whatever, I don't even care.
But it's weird because people are always like, you don't feel weird, like if they are nude. And I'm like, no. I remember driving to my first job with Naomi and she was kind of explaining, 'cause she's the one that helped me get that job. And she was like explaining to me, if they're men's physique, they can keep their trunks on, just roll them down at the top, up at the bottom. If they're bodybuilding or classic physique, they have to be nude or sock. And I was like, okay. Like I used to work in a nursing home for like 5 years. So
Gotcha.
I'm used to being around all of
Everybody.
that. Yeah. So it's like nothing to me. But I do when we hire some girls and they're in like the men's or even the women's, you can tell they feel a little like uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's whatever to me now.
Well, you're also in the sport, and like you're looking at the body, like, wow, this guy looks pretty dang good. You're not even like
Yeah.
thinking. About
I
it,
know, like I'll be tanning them and I'm like, ooh, like because I get
Good, good.
excited for it.
Yeah,
Like,
let me see what he looks like with a tan. Oh,
with
shit.
a tan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I'm surprised. Like my boss told me, she's like, you surprised me. She's like, because you picked up on the tanning like so well, like spraying. I was like, which is news to me because you asked me to draw something. Like I'm not the one for you. I can't draw. I can't paint. Like I don't. But I'm really good at tanning.
Contouring the muscles and everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember my first tanning experience. When I was in there, she's spraying me. She's like, yeah, how many shows you've done? I'm like, this is my first show. She's like, wow, this is your first show. You're gonna do crazy. Like she's pretty much,
Yes.
and that meant a lot. Like I know
Yeah.
you tanning people are always
Oh, yeah,
telling
you're
somebody,
always
Oh,
thinking,
yeah.
wow, you look
You see
great.
so many physiques.
Keep doing that because that really helps the athlete. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously if they're out of shape, you don't got to lie to them. But you know, if like the guys who did look pretty good, you know, like I think like because I remember specifically for myself on how good that felt.
Yeah.
When the tanning lady told me that.
We do that a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of first time competitors, and it's just like, oh shit, like I didn't look like that when I
Yeah.
stepped on stage for the first time.
Well, I remember because I'll tell her like, hey, these two girls are coming, and she'll come up, dude, Natalia's looking crazy, like because you could tell when you're spraying them, like you
Right.
can just tell who did the fucking work and who
Right.
didn't, you know.
I know.
So-
It was a show that we normally tan at. I won't say the name, but we weren't there this season, and a lot of people were like, "Did you do the tans?" And I was like, "No." And they were like, "Oh, no wonder. Like they look like shit." And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Unfortunately, we weren't there this season." I'm like, which sucks because you can definitely your tan
my
is
tan was
everything.
so good last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. It
was
Yay.
10 out of 10.
That makes me
Mhm.
happy. I love
Yep.
when people message
So
me
good.
and, you know, whether they say thank you or whether you're always asking me if I'm going to be there.
Yep.
My old coach, even if he has competitors at shows, he's like, are you going to be there? And I'm like, that specific show I wasn't at. So,
Gotcha.
but we have a lot of people that ask for our color. We use LSR and
Yeah.
it's, in my opinion, the best.
I mean, you know, we went to nationals and like Raven's tan, Emily's tan was horrendous. I mean, it was so fucking bad. Like it's almost like you
Wow.
could just like wipe it off. It was so bad where it was like that nasty, not green, but you know what I'm talking about. It's like
Right.
shit tan. So
Right.
like what is that? Like what is it just them using bad stuff or
I think it just depends on what solution they're using. And because like for us, like we kind of try to detail to the competitors like how to prep your skin and, you know, not to exfoliate like the week before your show, like
Yep.
every day. And then don't moisturize, I think. And then
Yep.
like we have like we send out an
Yeah.
email of
Yep.
like,
Pro-tan does not though.
yeah.
So you guys are much better about that.
We
'cause I was
send a
like,
very
forget what I'm
specific
supposed to be
email.
doing.
Yeah. So when I can immediately tell when I spray somebody and they didn't prep their skin.
yeah.
Mhm.
But then they
Oh,
try
yeah,
to
yeah.
blame like the color and the tanning. Oh, my tanning looked like crap. I'm like, but did you prep your skin?
Yeah, or did you put on deodorant or did
Yes.
you what did you
Yeah,
put on
yeah.
some
If you
spray?
put on
Dude,
deodorant,
your
you will
chips should
turn
turn
green. So
green.
don't put it on.
Mhm.
Heard it
Yeah.
Your peak week should stink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah.
I pretty much tell all my competitors, you know, Thursday morning, there's no more deodorant. You know,
Nope.
Thursday, that's it. You're done. And take a shower multiple times, you know. And I always
Yeah.
tell people right before you get the tan, like 3 hours before, get one last rinse. You know,
Yep.
one
And
last
use, what is it, Irish Spring. Dry your skin the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Or hotel soap. The hotel soap will dry your shit out real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been recommending like a dry brush too. I got it from my waxer in my hometown, but she recommended this it's like a dry scrape and you do it before and after your shower.
Okay.
And I've been doing that and it works like a charm. My
Sure.
tan always looks legit.
There you go.
I mean, I'm sure you guys both look like you have like the perfect skin. You know, I always tell
Yeah.
Dustin
I'm still
catch
trying
them,
to get the other one off. Like I have
wow.
some.
Yeah, yeah,
but
for
yeah.
sure.
I'm like soaking
I
every
know, I
day.
know,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh my gosh, I'm like needs to come off, but it's getting there.
No, that's awesome, man. But yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about coaches. Like, obviously, I know you've gotten 2 coaches now. What makes a really good coach in this sport? From you
Ooh.
guys.
Someone
That's-
who actually cares and gives a shit is very good.
Yeah.
That you're not just giving out generic plans, you're actually like paying attention to what the athlete needs and what they need to bring up in the off season, what they need to focus on. It's not just like, here's your diet plan, here's your this. You know, you actually give a shit, which
Yeah.
is really important.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely one.
I would say that's the top for
Yeah.
sure.
Care.
Yeah.
It's not hard, fucking guys. People, it's not fucking
Yeah,
hard.
yeah.
But
You'd be surprised.
You
You'd
hear
be
so
surprised,
many.
exactly.
I hear so many times when athletes are telling me, "Oh yeah, I reached out to my coach so long ago, and or I checked in 4 days ago, and like I haven't heard anything." And I'm like,
Mhm.
what?
I know.
Or one of my friends, he was like, "Yeah, I've had the same plan for I think he said 5 or 6 months," and I was like,
Jesus.
What?
Yeah.
"What?" I was
Like nutrition and workout?
Yeah, I was like, that it hasn't changed in that long, and that's when I was like, I lost my mind.
Yeah.
I was like, "There's no way," and you're paying him, and he's like, "Yeah," and I was like, "What?" Like I was so upset because
Yeah.
that's not.
That's
I always
not
think it's
right.
crazy when you say how many competitors you have, and I'm like, really? It's not just me?
Mhm.
Like, I'm not your
Because
only
you
one.
feel
Yeah.
like it's just you.
No,
Yeah.
he totally makes you feel like you're the only one. You know,
Mhm.
very responsive. That's a huge, very responsive, very like
Yeah.
updating stuff and making sure that you're staying on track and doing the things instead of just
Yeah.
Like,
"Yeah,
here you
check in
go.
next week. And
Yeah.
exactly.
You can check
Especially
in
when
like
you're a competitor, it's like the details matter.
Yeah, I was at Walmart yesterday and I was buying stuff to prep for California, and I hate calling Dylan like on the spot because you guys are busy, coaches are busy.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang it. I felt really, and I even told it, he answered, like, it rang like twice and he answered. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I was like, but I have a quick question. I'm at the store. I'm getting my stuff. And he was like, oh, like, absolutely. Like, what's up? Like, stuff like that. And not saying like if coaches don't answer their phone, like they're not, they don't care, but I don't know. It's just little things like that.
Well, you want to show
boundaries
that
are
you care,
important too,
you know?
but like at the same time, being responsive in a certain like a timely manner.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
Yeah, I think a lot of coaches, man, like for one, they either don't care, and we talk about it all the time. And me and him talk about it all the time. And you know, I got this guy Parker that just joined the team. You know, he's an older guy. He didn't receive a check-in, I think, for 2 weeks. It was over 2 weeks, and he's 7 weeks out from his show. Like, guys, you don't fucking care. Like, you simply don't care if you're a coach. And this is one of the top coaches in the world. I don't want to say a name, but he's one of the top coaches in the fucking world. And the problem is these coaches get too big, and they're just not able to like give the same service across the board. And I've even seen that myself a little bit. Like the more clients I get, it's fucking tough, and I'm working a lot more. Like, dude, I didn't get done working until Sunday at like 10 o'clock at night. You know, I was sending out plans and checking in, and by the time I had like 30 texts on my phone that I got to most of them, and then by the time I get all of them, then they text me back more, and it's like, but you know, so coaches definitely do a lot. And the reason why I asked is because you both, you know, want to coach someday. I know we've had a talk about it. Me and Jen, we've talked about that as well. And I think you both know what needs to be done, you know, to be a good coach.
For sure.
And you're going to see how, exactly what you said, you're going to see how many horror stories you hear, not even from these small time coaches, from these big time coaches. I mean, I've seen the best coaches in the game now, their plans. I'm like, this is fucking embarrassing. Like, what are we doing?
3 hours of cardio and like,
Oh my gosh.
Don't care.
list of needs, like, here you go.
Don't care.
We just had a client join the team, and I don't even know who our coach was, but it was horrible. It was the worst plan I've ever seen in my entire life. I was like, you would have died probably in 5 years if you would have kept following this person.
God. It's scary.
Oh my
It was scary.
gosh.
That's what it is. And at the
Yeah.
end of the day, it's just scary. So,
Sure.
you know, I'm excited to see both of you guys, you know, evolve in this. And
I have something planned coming up with Dylan actually. So
Nice.
it's kind of, you know, we're still working on it, but it's after USA's, hoping it works out, and you know, he's gonna talk about it more. But
nice.
I'm very excited.
No, it's super pumped, man. Like,
I called you,
Yeah.
you know, and I was like, you know, this is something I want to do, you know, but it's just like, and then he actually called me and we talked about it, and I was like, I have just been talking, like I talked to my sister, I talked to Matt, like this is a sign. Like if this isn't God telling
you
me
have
to like
do it.
Coaching,
Right.
That's the
coaching is
thing.
fun. It's rewarding as hell too.
Yes.
mm,
And you guys
yeah.
will start, you'll see. I mean, you might do like some lifestyle clients at first, but then it gets to the point where it's fun, but you want to take it up, right? You want to take it up. And I think that's where she's at now.
That's where I'm at. Yeah,
You know,
I
she-
do all lifestyle clients right now,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm ready to get
Oh,
people
yeah,
that are
that's
really, you know,
exciting.
want
into
do a
it,
little
want to
more.
fucking win, and it's different, man. Like, you know, when you go out on stage and, you know, you watch your client hitting those poses, like you're in their body with them at the end of the day. Like when she goes out on stage, like we've worked on her routine multiple times. Like we know what it is. Every time she goes to their pose, I'm like, damn, it's almost like you. And then when they win, I feel better when my clients win than me winning. So you guys will see. You know?
Yeah. When I FaceTimed Dylan, he was at a show in Texas with one of his classic physique competitors, Ariel, and I could tell he was like walking out and he was like smiling. He's like, "What happened?" I was like, "We had the like," he was like so excited.
Yeah.
Like if he were here, like he would have hugged me. Like he was
for
just
sure.
very, very excited.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's very rewarding for coaches to see, you know, because you guys are a part of it too.
Sure.
You know.
And I can remember being on the stage at North Americans last year, and like everything was a blur. I couldn't hear or see anything except for Matt. I could see him pacing back and forth, like saying my
Yeah.
names. I'm like, that's
shit.
all that matters right now. That's all I can hear. That's all I can see.
Yeah.
But like everything else was just like dull. I was like, Matt's right there.
I can always
but
hear
just-
you backstage when
Yeah.
I'm
Really?
glazing and gluing
That's
at
awesome.
shows. I can always hear Matt. Always.
Dude, man, coaches put a lot into this shit, man. This isn't a joke for us. Like, if you
No.
care, you care. Like, and
Right.
someone, big shout out again to Big Serb. You know, we were at the show and I see him. I took a video and I posted him. He's just yelling and he's like, get up, and he sits back down. He gets back up and he's sitting back down. And you can't help it, you know? Because us coaches, man, we get
Yeah.
into
That's
it.
how
Like,
it is.
you know, it's
You see y'all up on stage, and it's like, you know, we're there. We're on stage with you, and we have that same anxiety, that the
Yeah.
nerves and everything. We see you hit that pose, and we're like, oh, there it is.
I'm sure it's just like being a parent watching your kid play sport.
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Oh yeah.
100%. It's almost worse though, because like, you know, again, like we know you guys are paying for this, right? You guys are paying for this. We've put in so much, not only effort, you know, but financial, you know, stuff as well, that there's so much riding on it, you know, and if the client doesn't place, at the end of the day, the coach is the first to blame. You know, the coach is always the first to blame. Even if you cheated 100 times, it doesn't matter. That client always blames the fucking coach. So us, when we're up there, I want to win, not only because because I want you to win and I think you guys deserve it, but because like we don't want to fail. You know, like
Right.
we never want to fail as a coach, you know.
I feel like it was all worth it. All the
Exactly.
pain, all
Yeah,
the stress.
Yeah. And most of my career, you know, it's been worth it for pretty much every time. You know,
Yeah.
we've seen clients, we talked about this a couple podcasts ago, like when they get off stage, they just go in the dumps if they don't win. Like I'm
Yeah.
sure, how did that feel after when you got fourth that time?
Oh my
do
gosh.
you
I
feel?
remember getting off and my old coach's wife saw me and she immediately was like, fix your face.
Mhm.
Because she could tell I was like down in the dumps. That was really hard. Like walking off, I went right backstage and I had a bacon babe cookie and I just sat down and I ate it. You know, normally you would run around to the front and like catch
Yeah.
up with your family,
Yeah.
and they actually had to come back around
Wow.
to grab me.
Yeah,
That one hurt. That one stung a little bit.
Yeah.
Just because I thought that one was it. I was like, this one's gonna be it. I was like, this one's gonna be mine. And then I remember one of the expediters saying top 3 is gonna go to amateur Olympia. And then in my head, I'm like, I was placed in 4th. Like, I'm not gonna go to amateur. And we were gonna aim for that, but it hit me so hard that I was like, I don't want to do it. I didn't do it. I was like, if I got 4th at ultimate with these, like, there's just for me in my
impossible.
head, I was like, I'm not ready.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not, you know. So
Well, I think the same thing happened with me. I remember texting Cristina back and forth, like, bro, we're going to sweep this overall. We're getting this. We competed in the same show. I'm like, hey, we got this. You're going to get this. I want to get this. And we're going to go here. And like sometimes, man, that's just not that's not what happens.
Yeah.
You know,
what did
Who's
you
gonna
place
show
at
up?
that show?
third. I got third.
Yeah.
I mean, there was like 12 guys in my class, but it was just, I was too fucking big. I don't know. Why do you think I lost?
Fuck, I don't know. Maybe because you were too. I think if we would have done classic,
Probably. I would've
Oh
said-
yeah.
Hey.
It's almost,
Classic.
yeah. I do think in physique, you know, everyone's trying to push me to classes. Someday we'll might get back out
Maybe.
there, but
Do you
know.
think you're gonna compete again?
it's hard, man. I'm busy. It's fucking hard. You know, like okay, so you know me, I love the suffering. I don't know why I love the fucking suffering, and I think I like the journey more than actually competing. Like
Exactly. That's what it's all
stepping
about.
on stage don't mean shit to me. Like I didn't really care. And I told Dustin before, I'm like, dude, win or lose, like thank you for coaching me. Like we did this shit, but I don't care. Like I just love the journey. I love, you know,
Yeah.
putting my body through absolute suffering and misery, and I just don't know why, man. When I'm in the gym, it's like you have a goal, like a destination. Like this is it. Fuck everything else. I want to be conditioned, right?
Right.
I want people to look at me and be like, man, no one beats fucking mass conditioning. And I think we I don't know if we accomplished that because he gets there close, but we were fucking close. You know?
Yeah.
But-
Your conditioning was on
We're-
point
we're
though. Like
good.
it was
You're tight,
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was almost to the point where we were ready like fucking 4 weeks out, and it was like,
Absolutely.
all right, maintaining this conditioning is just suffering at this point. But it was a good time. But someday,
I think
People
that's what it's all about,
convince
though.
me.
Is like having that structured goal that you're working towards.
Yes,
Like, and just knowing exactly what you need to do every single freaking day. Every minute of the day is accounted for, and
Yeah.
you're working towards that one specific goal. And I think that's just like the best part of it.
yeah.
Yep.
No, it was tough, but we pushed through, you know, and I got it done. But I remember stepping off stage, and I was like, the second I stepped off stage, like, all right, Natalia's turn. Let's go.
Yeah.
Like Coach Matt's back. Let's go.
Yeah.
But it's tough, man. When you're this busy, like you guys will see, I promise you. Like if you guys start coaching, like it gets to the point where it's busy. Like Dustin's working fucking day and night now. I'm working day and night now. Like it's tough, but that's why we're winning, and we're gonna keep winning, and we're gonna win here in 4 days.
Yeah.
So
Hell yeah.
I'm excited.
I'm
Yep.
excited.
Fun. Traveling to California though. You guys
Yeah.
what plan? Okay. Traveling with food, because you're gonna have to have all your
Oh,
food.
that's
That's a
Right?
good
Yeah.
topic.
Right?
Yeah.
This is a great topic, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, I try to
Listen
show
up,
people how
people.
I like to prepare my meals and how I like to do like my proteins or my carbs or whatever. I always put them in nice plastic bags because you can make it flat. You can almost like,
I
you know,
vacuum
airtight it
seal
out. You can, you can
Yeah.
almost
Vacuum seal it.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Make it nice and flat, and then you can carry more stuff. So how do
Exactly.
you guys travel with food?
So
Or what are your plans?
this is actually my first like show traveling.
experience. Well,
Yeah.
maybe we can give you some advice then. We got a
Yeah.
bunch
Give
of
me
people
the
that travel.
tips. Yeah. Give me
So
the tips.
last year when we went to North Americans, I did that. I did like the rest of the food I would need for that day, and then up to like meal 3 maybe the following day, because I knew we were going to hit a
Absolutely.
grocery store, go to the Airbnb. So I just wanted to pack enough,
Mhm.
and I vacuum sealed everything, and I froze half of it,
Okay.
so that I didn't have to worry about ice packs or anything.
Yeah.
And then by the time we got there, it was thawed out.
Mhm.
That worked out perfect for me. The only tricky part was opening it on the plane, but we figured it out. I can't remember how, but like, 'cause you
Yeah.
can't have
Oh, you're
scissors or anything.
opening up a airtight bag.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
And
here's
just bring a
one that
container.
I'm getting both. I heard putting it in your check-in bag, like your frozen food,
Mhm.
and taking it in your carry-on. Which one is better?
Well, if you're gonna eat on the plane, I would take it in your carry on.
Like I'm gonna take my meals on my
I will
carry on.
always carry my meals on carry. Anything important, like your fucking suit, your food, everything that
Right.
you need that is going to be your lifeline for this bodybuilding, take it with you.
Yeah.
On the plane. Do
Right.
not check it in because they can lose your shit.
But don't
Right.
try and bring almond butter or anything through TSA. Like
No,
get one on the other
yeah,
side.
they fucking.
He lost his whole.
Oh, dude, I almost lost my shit on this old man. Dude, I swear to God, I was gonna get fucking
I'm concerned
blacklisted.
that-
I swear. He was like, oh yeah, what do you got here? And I was freshly, still enclosed and everything like that. Never been opened.
Was it your fit butter?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I didn't, and obviously you know me how I died. I didn't let him have it for the whole fucking time.
Oh
so.
my
And dude, I was
God.
so happy to eat that shit. And then he's like, oh yeah, well, I got to take this. I was like, you're going to take fit butter? It's just almond butter, dude. Well, it's like a gel. I was like, no, it's not like a
actually
gel. Actually,
Oh
it's-
my
take that
gosh.
Oh my God, dude, I was
yeah.
so mad.
No,
I was
I
so
have
mad.
one like that I used to get at Walmart, but they took it off the shelves. It's called Be Happy, and it's like peanut butter or almond butter with like pretzels, macadamia. Oh,
Right?
it's the bomb on a rice cake.
I'm telling
I'm
you,
taking
girl.
that.
I'm telling
Just not
you.
in my carry-on.
Yeah,
But you
put
can
it-
bring
put it-
ice packs
put it in
as
your
long as
stuff.
they're frozen.
Yep.
On the carry-on.
Yeah, you can't bring like the bag kind that will like.
Yeah,
You
no,
know,
no.
get
You need
jelly.
like
They have
the
to be like
solid.
The solid, like the
solid
squares.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. The bricks.
I've been traveling with I went on like 3 trips in the off season, brought all my food with me, so it's gotten pretty.
And I think a lot of people, they just get lazy, man. Like even like people like that are prepping. There's no fucking excuse.
there's no excuse.
There's zero
Even in the
fucking
off-season,
excuse.
There's no fucking excuse.
Yeah, there's no excuse. Exactly. I have people all the time that travel out of town where I personally tell them, this is like my tip, is like, if you get a big, check bag underneath the plane, you get one of your sides, just get a towel. I usually put a towel down and I get my food, I put it in bags, right? Like
Right.
obviously I'm not bringing fish. That shit's gross, right? You can't eat that shit. It's gross. But I do like ground turkey, or chicken, chopped up chicken, put it in bags. I usually double bag it just in case it opens. Put it in there and I put ice packs on top and bottom. Dude, you got all your food for 4 days.
Right.
Like there's no
Yeah.
excuse.
My friend told me to put it in like your Ziploc bags, but also put it in like an insulated, like one of those Publix bags
Yeah,
that
yeah,
you can
yeah,
like
you can
zip and just lay
Okay.
it flat in case they
Yeah.
do open.
Yeah.
It'll be.
Well,
in
just
there.
double like zip tie, like double
That's why
Yeah.
vacuum sealing it is so
Bag
great
it.
because it makes it so
Yeah.
small and then it doesn't open.
Yeah.
The pressure or anything.
I mean, I pretty much do that with a regular Ziploc bag because I mean, you put
Oh,
hot,
yeah.
you put hot food in there, right?
Yeah,
and then
like
when
just
you
seal
go
it
to
up.
squeeze it down, you squeeze all the air out, and then when you
Yep.
completely zip it
And
up,
then
it's
just-
basically airtight, and then I just flatten it out.
Yeah.
And then just bring one container and just reuse that one.
That's how I pack my meals for shows.
Exactly, a little
Yeah.
like a little Tupperware something.
Yeah.
You could just
One
Yeah.
container, one fork, and just
That's
keep
it.
reusing it.
That's it, absolutely.
That's whenever I have shows. That's how I pack all my meals. There was one show I took like 10 containers, and my boss is like,
What are you doing?
"Don't do that." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Well, how do you want me to bring my food?" And she's like, "Ziploc bags." And I was like,
Yeah.
"You're a genius."
Genius.
Makes a lot
Yeah.
of sense.
Yeah.
That's when
Yeah.
you're gonna see like 4 or 5
And
people
even
gonna
like
see
you could
this
keep
and
it cold in
start
your
doing that.
Stanley.
Mhm.
Like you could Ziploc bag your food, put it in your Stanley cup with ice.
Oh, that's
Close it
good.
up.
That's a good one.
That's a
It'll
good
keep it
idea.
cold.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Or you can
Big
keep
ass
it hot.
gonna be even
Either way.
Right.
So what's up with women in Stanley Cups?
I
man?
just got mine.
What is
This was
Bro.
my treat for winning the show. I was like,
Oh,
I'm gonna buy
shit.
because I guess you can take one on to the airport and fill it up with water.
Yeah.
There.
So I
which
heard it
didn't
tastes
know.
better in the Stanley. Is
I
that
have,
true?
like, it just keeps it colder. I have like 4 of them.
It keeps it cold,
It does
and that's
taste
me.
better?
I love water. Is water.
Water's water. Yeah.
People are always
If
like,
it's in
I
your
don't like
cup holder,
Zephyr
you're
Hills.
fine.
Thank you.
This one
Thank
is
you.
I don't like what is it? Smart Water, Zephyr Hills,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Publix, Walmart. I'm like, water is water.
Don't give a
Like I
shit.
used, you know what the manguera
I
is?
disagree.
The water hose.
Water's not water. I disagree.
Don't tell everyone our secret right
I disagree. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
I think I hate spring water. I just hate the taste of
And
fucking
that's my
spring water.
favorite, I guess.
Is it?
I always
Ugh.
aim for spring water. That or drinking
boy.
water.
now.
Yeah. Drinking water's my favorite. I like
Yeah.
drinking water. But like, you know, I
It
used to
tastes
drink a
the
lot of
same.
Coke. Like if you don't know, guys, I was a fucking huge gamer. I used to gamed a lot. And I would just pound Cokes every night. And I would have to get a plastic cup for like my Coke. If I drink it in glass, it's disgusting. I can't do it. It has to be in plastic. But the best is like a nice saran or
Yeah.
what is it? What's it? Gas station cups?
Styrofoam.
Styrofoam cups. That's the best. Oh my god. Coke in a
Yeah.
styrofoam cup, bro.
Freaking ice
got
cold
it.
Dr. Pepper from that. Sugar
there
free
you
and
go.
Dr. Pepper.
So
Yeah.
talk about food cravings. You know, how are you guys feeling right now? Are you guys more focused on food or are you more focused on winning?
No, I'm
I'm not
focused
even
on
thinking about
winning.
food.
Don't get
Oh,
me
really?
wrong. Listen. I'm sure y'all see.
You be posting shit on your story
Yeah,
and shit.
everybody's
You go that
so
far.
funny. They're like, "You need to stop," and I'm like, "I'm just like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm ready to eat. I think
Yeah.
I'm more excited because 2 of my sisters are going with me,
Oh, nice.
and one of my
Yeah.
best friends is going. So, you know, I don't know if we're gonna go eat with the team or what the plan is, but just having my sisters there with me and my best friend, I'm like,
More about the experience. Yeah.
Right. And like, I don't
Yeah.
travel often. Like, I have 3 kids. The
Yeah.
most traveling I do is I go to work.
Yeah.
I go to the Panhandle. I go to Orlando. I go to Boca Raton, like for work. And other than that, like I'm going to Texas in September. Like me and Naomi are so, because we don't travel.
Yeah.
Like at all. So I think the experience and getting out there and seeing what's new. And my sister's like, what do you want to eat post show? And I'm like, honestly, if there's a Five Guys there, like I'm content. She's like, Chris, let's find something else. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Or you can be in California. I know the Mexican food down there is probably
That's
freaking
what we
Yo,
keep
go get
seeing.
yourself a Cali burrito.
That's what I keep seeing. I just sent her a video last night of like how I forgot what it was called, Don Julio's, or I don't know what it's called, but freaking long burritos.
Oh, girl.
Yeah,
That was the
it's
difference
just
between me
so-
from last year to this year. Like last year, I was so food focused. All I thought about was fucking
Yeah.
food. And
you
it
got
was
listen.
miserable.
You guys don't understand how much Jen focused on food. Like it was.
It was.
It got to the point where I was like,
bad.
Jen is it was a mess. It was
All
a
I
mess. I was
wanted
talking
was
about.
food. Yeah, Natalia and
Yeah.
I would be sending each other pictures. Like my whole like explore page was all
Yeah.
food. This year, nothing, no food. Like if the
That's
thought
good.
enters my head, it's gone.
Yeah.
I'm not
Mm.
thinking about it at all. There's nothing
Yeah.
on my social media coming up. I'm not buying and stocking up
No,
any
like,
food.
So what
Like,
was your secret this time in, yielding off all that,
staying structured in the off season?
shielding that off? Yeah.
Yeah, not eating like shit in the off season. I'm eating the same exact way I ate in the off season, just less food.
There you go.
So all I'm looking forward to is like another cup of rice with my meals.
Ah,
Like I'm just looking forward to
yes.
more food. And just
Have
being
rice.
full.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not looking forward to anything in particular. I'm not
Yeah.
craving sugar or any of that. Like I went out and bought a Ninja Creamy last year and everything right after prep.
My
like,
sister bought me one too.
I was crazy.
Yeah.
I was ordering stuff on Amazon. I was ordering waffle makers and like all this crazy shit.
Yeah, I remember being
I
like,
used, like,
at
one-
the
That's
show,
what I was
literally
gonna
guys
say. How
at the
many times
show,
you use it?
and Jen's sitting there like telling me about all these food places, and like it is so fucking difficult, man.
Yeah.
When you get that food bug, it's like
Oh, yeah.
it's
Yeah.
Yeah, I
very
don't
difficult.
even feel it. And even like thinking like, what
Mhm.
will I eat after the show? I don't even know. I don't even care.
It's not gonna matter.
And like last year, all I could think about was his brownies he was gonna make.
Oh, yeah,
He's gonna
dude.
make peanut butter
Oh,
chocolate chip
yeah.
I
Oh
did.
yeah.
Fucking
Well, a few of the
Reese's
girls that I
Pieces.
know are
Yeah.
gonna be there have been messaging me, and one girl was like, "I bought a shit ton of cookies from the cookie dealer." She's like, "I'm gonna bring you some," and I'm like, "Okay, cool, thanks." And then I'm like, "What do I want? Like, I'm not craving like sweets. I'm craving my burger."
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's me. Like
And I know how it's gonna
I'm
make
a
me
burger
feel, too, I think.
fiend.
Oh,
Same.
Yeah.
I'll go for a burger and fries. But like,
Yeah.
I'll
Everybody's
hold off
like,
on the
"Oh,
shirt.
you
It's
probably
gonna
want
feel like
pizza,"
crap.
and I'm like, I see pizza, I'm like, "Damn, that looks good." When I order it for the kids, and I'm like, "Dang, that looks good," but
Mhm.
I'm like, eh.
2 slices in, your stomach's like this,
Exactly.
and
I
you
Sipping
go
your
know,
pain.
look like freaking
You're like,
Santa
"Ah."
And I
Claus.
probably had it
Shit,
like
I
once in the off season. I wanted ice cream so bad last year.
Oh my
I
gosh,
don't even
me
think
too.
I had it at all.
Yeah.
In the off season.
That was one thing I got to shout out to you because you did do very good in the offseason, man. And I
Yeah.
think that's why we were able to be 20 pounds up right now.
Mhm.
And I think like if you
That's
want to be a
crazy.
pro, you have to do what pros do.
Exactly.
All
That was
year
my
fucking
mentality
round.
the whole
Yep.
fucking time. If I want to be a pro, this is what are the pros doing?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, this is how you know she's my client. You know what I'm saying? Her mind is so focused. And I think that's
Yeah.
what also makes a great coach, man, is you got to find somebody that can unlock that inner
for
demon,
sure.
you know, and to
I'm
push the
excited
next
to do
level.
my first off season with Dylan.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, I'm
It's gonna be nuts,
So
I'm sure.
ready.
Yeah. You're going to have a
Because
bunch of
off
food
season,
and-
I normally kind of take a break from coaching, and I don't do it like myself. Like I kind of just like if I'm hungry, I eat. But I eat like food that you're supposed to eat. I eat I'm a big salmon person. I eat my salmon, I eat my chicken, my rice, my oats in the morning with my eggs. Like but like don't get me wrong, every now and then like post leg day, I'm like, I'm gonna go get a burger. Like
Yeah.
that's how I normally do my off seasons. But this time I'm like, if I'm ready for anything, it's for an off season with Dylan.
Oh, yeah. That's not
I'm
good.
very,
Having
very
that structure
excited.
and, like,
oh, for sure.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So much better.
I mean, that's the only way you beat these people. You know, like people
That's
are
it.
willing to not have a single cheat meal all year round. You know, like Kamal, what an
Dude, that's
absolute
nuts,
legend.
dude.
That's who you guys are versing. You know, if you
Yeah.
guys want to be in the Olympia someday
Chew up
and
the
want
bread
to
and
do
spit
it,
it out.
Yeah.
that's the mentality you need. That was his cheat meal, you know, in the off season and even in prep. Like, how do you feel about artificial sweeteners? Like, have your coach talked about that at all with you?
So normally, like I'm big on, and I saw this on your podcast the other day about like sugar-free jellos and things like that. And I used to lean on them like a lot. Only this time, I don't know, like something clicked in me that I'm just like, let's do something different,
Yeah.
and let's see. Dr. Pepper's, he was like, I'm a sugar-free Dr. Pepper fiend. Like I love them so much. But that too, I messaged him and I was like, hey, just FYI, I said, I do drink one of these and like a C4 Smart Energy drink,
Yeah.
Like midday. I said, so whenever you're ready for me to cut those out. And he's like, can you live without them? And I was like, 100%. And he was like, let's cut them out. I was like,
Yeah.
say less. And I had like 3 12-packs in my pantry, and I gave them to my sister because she's, is starting to, eat a little bit cleaner and trying to cut off regular soda. And I was like, hey, like drink these because if they're in my house,
Yeah.
not that I'll drink them, but it's just like I'm gonna look at
For a
them and I'm
reminder.
just, like no.
When did you cut those out?
I cut them out like maybe a month ago.
So 4 weeks out.
It's been a while, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
But before that, I was having at least one a day.
Wow. What about the sugar-free Jello?
No,
What were we doing with that?
I cut that out completely.
That was cut out completely.
Sprinkle it on your eggs. What was cracking?
Yeah.
What
I
you-
would literally like if I'm like prepping something or like if it was like
Yeah.
a low carb like a low carb day, I would just pop one open and then just kind of like
like a Jello cup.
yeah.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
thought you meant like the
No,
powder. and
like
shit.
a little Jello
Okay,
cup.
okay, yeah.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
So
But-
was that now? Did you ever tell your old coach that you were doing that?
yeah.
Or was that something? Because a lot of people keep that shit secret. Like
Yeah.
most of my clients, always they know
assume
how
it's zero
fucking strict I
calorie.
am, right? Like she literally texts me. She's like, "Can I do?" Like she's been texting like every week. You okay with Celsius? You sure okay with Celsius? But because she's not doing pre-workout, I'm okay with it, right?
Yeah,
One a day.
I
but
don't
we cut it
do
out for peak
pre-workout
week.
either.
So
So you can drink that for your pre-workout.
Yeah.
I allow
Yeah.
her.
And
I
up
allow
until
her.
this week, we cut it, and now I'm like looking at that. I'm like, I want that. So
But she's so fucking disciplined. She's so in shape that this isn't going to do much. But the problem is when you do this, you're doing the sugar-free Jello. Now you're using seasonings like the
Oh,
Kinder's
yeah.
fucking sugar has fucking cane sugar, guys. What are we doing here? Like there was this big epidemic on the fucking team this past
Yeah.
weekend. So what I've been having to do is I've been having everyone send me pictures of their meals and the seasonings and the sauces they're using.
Yeah.
And you guys
Wow.
would be shocked
oh, I know.
on where these people are finding this shit. Like I'm like, guys, it's on your fucking plan, guys. Read the back of the ingredients. There's literally cane sugar and honey. It's our first ingredient.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Someone
Even
on the team recommended
sauces.
a Sweet Baby Ray's sauce to me.
Oh,
Someone
no.
on the team, I won't say names. So I went to go get it, and I was like, oh, I can't wait. The back of it, sugar. I'm
You're
like,
like,
insane.
what the fuck? Yeah,
zero
yeah.
calories, but
Yeah.
sugar. I'm like,
Yeah.
nope, put
It's
it
like
back.
how, And the thing is, like, guys, a lot of these labels, man, they're not real. Like they lie to you. They fucking lie to you. And technically, if it's underneath 5 calories, you don't have to put how much. So if they put the serving size like 1 teaspoon and it's under 5 calories, they could technically put 0 calorie. If it's underneath 5 calories, they could technically put 0
And
calorie.
who's putting that much on their food?
Who's putting that much on their food?
Yeah.
Exactly. So there was a big epidemic. I had a big talk with everyone, but it was
Yeah.
crazy, man.
I'm
Like,
all about the
and
mustard and the hot
actually,
sauce.
I love Sebastian to death. I love him to death, but I always got to call bullshit when it's like Sebastian. You know what I'm saying? So last year he was doing. It was this big epidemic of this peanut butter coffee that was from Wawa, right?
Yeah, no
Peanut butter
idea.
coffee. Everyone
What
wanted
the
it.
hell?
So I went to Wawa the other day and I talked to the lady and she was like,
It's
because
like
I
the
looked
fresh
at the thing,
brewed coffee.
bro. It's like the little like specialty one, right?
Okay.
And I asked Sebastian, like, dude, are you sure that's 0 calorie? Like, how are they doing? How are they making that
There's
0
no
Yeah,
calorie?
no
way.
There's no
shot.
fucking way, right? There's no way. So
No.
Raven
No
was doing
shot.
it. I'm pretty sure. I think Raven and Sebastian, whatever. Them two were doing it last year, right? So I went there today or a couple days ago and I literally in Wawa, I asked the lady, I called Sebastian right away. She was like, no, they make it. She told me what was in it, right? So I called Sebastian like, bro, you told me the shit was 0 calorie. Like, he's 15 weeks out. Sebastian, if I see you at Wawa, you're going to get fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, and I snapped on him, but it was just funny. He's like, no, bro, like, I thought it was 0 calorie. I'm like, but then it tasted good, so I didn't drink it. I'm like, whatever.
I actually went to
Yeah.
Wawa.
Whatever, bro.
Yeah.
I went to Wawa yesterday to charge my car, and I went inside to get a coffee, and they like iced coffee, and then they like regular coffee. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go for an iced coffee. It says regular, so I'm filling it up, and it's like creamy looking. I'm like, that doesn't
You're
look
like, yeah,
like
no,
black
fuck
Oh,
coffee.
no.
Mm.
I took a tiny sip, and I was like, nope. I just like
Can't do
left
that.
it there. I'm like, I can't have that.
Yeah.
Went over to the
Black
hot
coffee all day, baby.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been weird about going to like even Starbucks and like Dunkin' to get coffee because then
Fuck
I'm
that.
like, you order like, oh, because I'll every now and then we'll get like stevia or whatever, and it's when I go to drink it, I'm like, how do I not know that they didn't put like
Yeah.
something else in there? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
Black.
yeah, it could be somebody who's having like a crappy day and they're just like
Yeah.
they're just mad and they do whatever to your coffee. I'm like,
Yeah.
no,
Exactly.
I like my coffee at home.
We'll put 2 Stevas instead of 2 Splendas or whatever. So
Yeah.
that's something we're pretty big on this team, is to keep all that shit. Because here's the problem, right?
The details.
Let's say you do a low carb day. You're telling me to do a low carb day, but now you're doing a bunch of artificial sweeteners that's having you retain a bunch of water now, right?
Right.
So it's almost defeating the purpose of it because you're
Of
not
a
going to
low
drop weight.
carb,
So that's
right.
you could have gotten carbs tomorrow if you would have just stopped doing that. So I think
Yeah.
that's something you'll continue to learn, and I'm sure you and your coach got a great. You look
Right.
fucking amazing. Your
Thank
conditioning's
you.
great, but also there's a big difference in wellness conditioning and like women's physique or
Yeah.
men's physique or like even these bikini girls, man, like they're deathly, in order to get to that condition, like you got to push it.
know.
And I actually kind of like wellness on that fact because you don't have to bring. Don't get me wrong, you're peel as fuck, but again, it's a different level of conditioning.
Oh
Especially.
yeah. Well, when I'm working too, I'll talk to a few competitors and they're like, oh, I was gonna do, this, but I decided to do wellness because you don't have to be as lean. And I'm like,
Still got to be fucking
Yeah.
peeled,
Yeah, okay.
no.
Still got to be fucking peeled. But I do think there's a difference because you need the fullness. Like wellness, you have to have the shape and the size, and it's hard to do that and get to fucking 5% body fat. You know, it's just, it's hard to keep that fullness, but you look amazing and your conditioning's on point. I'm just really hard on people on the artificial sweeteners because
I was
to
listening to your podcast the other day, and then
it makes a difference though. So when you pull that out, I started dropping water.
When
and I wasn't even using that much. I was using like the sauces, like the GQ sauces, occasionally, maybe once or twice a day. But like pulling those out, all of a sudden, I was more vascular. I was more dry in the morning. I was dropping weight.
People don't expect it. They just think that it's this is things that can help me during my prep. They help me through my suffering, and it's not. It's only going to make your suffering worse
and it makes you crave
you're going to have
sugar more.
Exactly. And then if you don't tell your coach, then we're over here spinning our fucking wheels, and we're like, your calories are already low as shit. I can't pull anything. I know. What am I supposed to do? And then let's just say we do pull it. Then it's just like fuck or more cardio. Why?
Yeah, no.
Fuck.
Don't do that to me.
And then again, you start having. Trust me, I called Dustin the second I got off the phone with Sebastian. I called Dustin. Listen, bro, start having your clients if they're prep. Take a picture of their fucking food with their seasoning and their sauces and send it to you. You're gonna be fucking mind blown on the shit these people are finding. Like, it's insane. Like, it's
even with sauces, I heard on a podcast where you asked him about sauces and like, what sauces do you use? He's like, nothing. And I was like,
he's fucking shit.
I was like, I'm not gonna use anything either.
So salt.
That's
salt.
It. Yeah.
Himalayan salt. That's it. Like, get to that point of like, that extreme deficit for that long. Again, like your body, I don't know, it responds to things a lot differently, right? So you have to start being hyper detailed and hyper focused on what foods do what to your body. Are you getting acid reflux? Are you starting to feel some heartburn for some reason because you just added this seasoning? It's like, just like garlic powder would fuck me up. I couldn't even touch hot sauce. And the moment I put some hot sauce, I get some hiccups, acid reflux, gone. I'm like, fuck this, it sucks. And I like hot sauce.
Yeah.
And listen, if you're not on my team, you keep doing whatever you're doing, okay?
We're gonna keep winning. Old time.
You'll do whatever the hell you want with your sausage. You guys have fun with that. But if you're on my fucking team, this is how it's done. So it makes such a big difference, man. You know, and again, like us coaches, we want to be able to feed you. And if you're doing shit off plan, it's just you're never gonna get carbs. You're not gonna get carbs. Like the people who follow the fucking plan and get food. Like we've never had to do. We did 2 days of 1 carb meal this prep just to deplete her a little bit the past 2 days. Besides that, she's had 2 to 3 to 4 carb meals almost every day leading up into the show. And that's with pushing it for another 8 weeks.
That's with taking away cardio and cardio session too.
And we took away a whole cardio session. She's only been on 1 cardio session. So and she's fucking peeled. So there's a way to do it, guys. Just, be hyper focused on the little things. And a lot of coaches don't know to tell you that kind of stuff. Like in the early days of my career, I never thought that people would even find this shit. Like I just never thought. And then come to find out, like, they're going to find ways to
for sure. Find like a loophole.
It's almost a great line. It's like, okay, I'm not cheating, but it's also like I'm using these seasonings and these sauces.
Those for the off season.
Yeah. And also like, me and Dustin could talk about this. Like again, fit butters, like how do you think people can run that in prep or what?
I mean, I think it really depends on the person.
I think I asked you about that the other day if you were using that.
I think it really depends on the person. You know what I'm saying? How fast do they burn? What is their metabolism like? But at the same time, how peeled do you want to get?
I would say too, though, like, can you stop yourself after 1 tablespoon? Are you that kind of person? Or
I absolutely could stop myself.
I know you could, but I mean, someone else.
Exactly. Those people who are inexperienced, the moment that it's so good.
Like, it's so good. It's just a little bit more.
Yeah. Just one more scoop ain't gonna hurt.
Yeah.
That's why I like the oil. Just pump the oil. I'm not gonna go back for seconds on the oil.
So that's something we do. Is the closer I get, I'll pull like almond butters and different kinds of stuff, and I'll put it in oils, right? That way, it's pure, just raw fats. And like me talking about fit butters, I love it for an off season, but in prep, I don't think fit butters has anywhere near like a prep.
Benefits. It has no benefit to it.
Now I know there's no benefit really, and like I was telling, I really mean Dustin never really talked about this, but now that we're talking about it, like fit butters, yes, it's the same macros, but there's sprinkles in there. You know what I'm saying? There's Oreos in there. There's different kind of flavorings in there.
Is there really a whole zebra cake in one?
There was a whole zebra cake in one.
They actually put an entire zebra cake in there.
The
whole fucking thing.
I will try that next week.
Wow, that's crazy. So that's what I'm saying. But I do believe it's firmly great for an off season, right? Something different, something fun. Right. But in prep, almond butter, you can't beat that.
Yeah.
If the only ingredient should be fucking almond butter. If you're not coached by me, you know what I'm saying? But again, I guess Dustin is right. If you're peeled to the fucking bone, like, all right, man, you could do it the hell you want for the most part. Like, not really, but
I told Dylan in the beginning, I was like, don't put peanut butter in my plan.
Yeah.
I think I pulled mine out around like 8 weeks. I'm like, I want a little bit more, so I'm not going to have it anymore.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, even ask him, like when I prepped for my show, 10 weeks out, I didn't do almond butter once. I cut it out. He left it in there. He actually got mad at me because I was getting a little bit too strict. You know what I'm saying? I kept wanting to take away things. He's like, dude, just leave it alone. You can do it. But me personally, like I didn't want to like tease myself. So anything that I like, if I like it, it's fucking gone from my diet. I don't want to like it. I want to eat like a fucking robot, dude. I want just the plainest shit. And it worked really well for me. I literally did oils, guys, from from 10 weeks out. So people are like, oh, well, I can't believe you're pulling my almond butter or this. I'm like, dude, I did this shit. Like, I didn't have gum for 16 weeks. I drank water, guys. You guys are lucky because I don't even like
gum
coffee.
too. Yeah, gum.
Gum will kill you.
Me and my coworker were talking about that. She's like, I stopped chewing gum. She's not prepping or anything. You know, just lifestyle. She eats good, trains hard, and she's like, I stopped chewing gum and I don't feel bloated. I don't feel gassy, and I'm like, I don't.
It's 5 calories. And there's pretty much 5 grams of sugar in there. It's fruit sugar, but it's still sugar at the end of the day.
Yeah, when Dylan told me to cut the Dr. Peppers, he was like, cut gum too. I said, I cut that a long time ago.
Good. And do you think it's made a difference in your prep?
100%.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're not as bloated and stuff? Yeah.
I'm not. Nope.
All right, man. We're not trying to give out all the secrets, guys. Okay. Let's get off this topic. We're winning. We're gonna stay winning here. Okay. And yeah, it's funny, man. A lot of coaches just don't know. You know, a lot of coaches don't know. But
also the clients aren't telling them a lot. So
yeah. No. Exactly.
Communication is everything.
Yeah. Sure. But dude, how excited are you guys? Have you guys been envisioning this pro card in your mind?
Yes. Oh my God. Are you kidding?
How do you guys feel?
I haven't. I feel like I dream about it. Like I wake up and I'm just like, oh my God. Like, and then like the tiredness like of the day will kick in and I'm just like we're almost there. Like we're right there. We're even talking about what we're gonna do like afterwards. But I'm like, hold on. Like let's wait. Yeah. Like let me enjoy this because I my first national show. I'm taking it all in. But I'm very, very excited. My kids aren't going with me, but they went with me to Boca. Just traveling and everything. I don't know how my body's going to respond to that. I'm a little nervous with the flights because of everything that just happened with the outage.
Microsoft bullshit.
Yeah. So I'm like, they're going to sit back with grandma and.
Yeah, my kids are staying back too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she always. It's hard, man. Especially when you got to fly. Like you got to fly 4 kids out there. Like,
dude, you don't need
I honestly
stress.
don't want the distraction. I love them to death, but I don't want the distraction.
I do too. Yeah.
They can stay home. They can watch the live stream. I need to focus.
Yeah. I remember Marie. We flew her out for Dustin's show. And that was exciting. I don't know if you guys knew about that. We surprised Dustin with that one, so that was a cool moment. We got that on footage. But how are you feeling?
I'm excited.
We're 4 days out from winning.
Yeah.
Mark my fucking words.
I've been manifesting it. Like, I already know what our picture is going to look like. Me and you holding the pro card.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, we might get 2 pro cards, though. Yeah. We might get fucking 2 because we're doing 2 classes.
Yep.
I'm picturing it all, I'm manifesting in that shit. Like, it's happening.
You can wear the same suit, right, for physique and bodybuilding?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
And they're very similar. So women's physique and women's bodybuilding are so similar.
Yeah.
But slight differences. Like, women's bodybuilding has front last spread, rear last spread. And then it's just different on how they hit their side chest and their side tricep. It's different.
So to be a little more feminine with the women's physique and a little bit more like tough.
Yeah.
With the
that side tricep pose has to be like my favorite.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I do it in the bathroom all the time.
Yeah. My side chest, my side tricep.
Yes.
Yeah, I think her to the side, bro, is gonna sweep. I think she's very competitive at the pro ranks right now. Take this body right now, side chest. It's going to be competitive at the pro stage, but it's everything, it's top to bottom. And that's what last year, had this one lady come in. I still think we got robbed. I still think we should have beat her. There was only one post she beat us, and that was just the front relax.
I want to see pictures.
We'll show you some
before
pictures.
we leave. Yeah.
Again, like this girl looked good. She had the shape, but dude, I
was way more conditioned. Way more conditioned.
I think coming up to us.
It was like, what?
Wow.
It was insane. Like, I mean, whatever. Not she did look good, but I don't talk shit about her. But it was like we were just that good. I think we should go out. But this year, 20 pounds up, we're coming there and we're gonna fucking smoke it.
Hell yeah.
So,
I'm
and
excited.
I remember when I was prepping too, and I'd be on the treadmill. I would envision what it felt like, and I would start like tearing up. I'm like, man,
exactly.
You
You get that emotional. Like, I will do that. I'll start getting emotional. Like, it's happening. It's happening. Like, it's fucking gonna happen.
Yeah. And you have to manifest.
You have to manifest it. Oh, for sure.
I was telling Natalia, like, I was picturing like what it felt like to hold it in my hands, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna bring it back on the plane? And
keep going all out.
Should I bring an extra suitcase to put it in? Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah. I put that big ass trophy in the back of my car at Southern States, and I'm just staring at it, and I'm like, dude, like we finally did it. Yeah.
I feel like it's a lot like when you buy a car, though. Like you get a car and like it's so nice. You drive for a little bit, and then you're like, all right, what's next? After a week or two, you're done with the fucking car, right? You're done. You got the overall. It's like you're gonna get the point where it's like, all right, screw it. Like I want an overall. He wanted fucking every overall. Fucking monster. But you're gonna get the point where you're gonna want something next. And I think you're never gonna be satisfied. And I think that's what people have to understand too, especially with your body. Like you're never gonna be happy. Like even last year, we were so good, we were still like nitpicking, right? Like okay, her abs washed out. Why do they wash out? We can't make that same mistake this time. You were almost this. So every time we do it, same thing with him. We pick apart your body, no matter how good you are. So I think just enjoy every minute of it. I mean, Dustin, how did you feel when you got off stage and you won the overall?
When I won the overall at Junior USA's?
Yep. Got the pro card.
I mean, you know, when they're calling the names and everything, calling the numbers to go out there to receive your, you know, your trophies. I mean, you know where you stood in terms of being in the middle, right? And even still, like, you don't believe that it's, I mean, you believe it's going to happen no matter what. You're going to manifest, but you don't really know until that number is called, until your name is called. And the moment that I heard my number called, I dropped. You know what I mean? I was like, fuck, man, all this hard work, everything that I put myself through, all the suffering, all that tiredness, when I was in that state of being so tired and drained and on the fucking treadmill, having to fucking do these fasted cardio sessions and talk shit to myself because I'm not a fucking pussy.
Right.
I'm gonna fucking do everything that I need to do to get here. And it came to life. It came to fruition. It was a lot for me. But you know, you sit in there, you get in it, and then like you're saying, it's just like, what's next?
Here we go.
Yep.
That's it. I'm pro now. Yay. All right, what the fuck's next? And I think it's going to happen even if you go to Olympia. Like, if you go to Olympia and you get, let's just say you do qualify for Olympia, right? Great moment. Wow, successful, right? You get to Olympia, you're like, I got 16th. Fuck.
Same thing.
Shit. Now I'm back to the drawing board. And how do I get first? You know, so, and I think even the best in the world, like even Chris Bumstead's probably, you know, like I didn't like that last year. Just look, I want to get better. And you'll always continuously get better and better.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's why he does always get better and better.
Yeah.
Guy comes in freaking.
you think he's going to
huge.
compete this year and next year?
Yeah.
You think it's the
Who,
last year?
Bumstead?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, is he gonna move to open?
He's been talking about it, but I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't know. He's a god, man. He's a god. You know, I think, you know, he's going to go far for sure. So who's your favorite wellness competitor right now?
Ooh, right now, I don't know. I like a lot of them. I'm actually posing with Danny.
Oh yeah, she's awesome.
She's, oh my gosh, I tanned her at, oh shoot, what show is it? Was it Daytona, bro? I tanned her at a show, and I don't know, man, just something about her shape and the way that she poses is just
She's awesome.
beautiful. I've met her, I've met Issa, I've met Tiffany.
Yep.
I've met so many, and they're just, I don't know. I love how Issa poses. Her and Danny have to be like top two for me.
Yeah.
Even Fran, don't get me wrong, like she's the standard, right? It's just the blueprint. But if I had to pick, it would be Issa and Danny.
Did you see Francielli's like face last year at the Olympia?
Oh my God,
The
I've
entire
gotten
time?
so many people.
She thought she was gonna lose. Did you see it though?
Yeah.
Like her the entire time at night time, head was down, just like nervous, and then she crowned the winner. And like it was close. I mean, it was close.
Very close.
Yeah, it was tough. I don't know if Issa did enough, but you think who's winning this year? Issa?
I don't know. I keep saying Issa.
Yeah.
I think for sure she's gonna
Like,
take it this year.
there's some girls coming up, though.
Glutes. Yeah. Well,
Some
even
girls
the
coming
one
up.
she just won, Eduarda.
Dude,
She's like coming up. She's like, I call her Francielli 2.0. Like
Yeah.
she looks like spitting image of her, like shape wise, you know, and posing. I feel like her posing, you know, but that's just me being like nitpicky. Because I look at a wellness competitor, or just any competitor in general, and like even when I'm watching them at work, I'm like, when I watch them and like my jaw just like drops.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, that's when I know I'm like, they're one of my favorites.
Yeah.
You know, and they're the ones I want to see and I want to watch, and like I go to their page and I study.
Yeah,
And I
absolutely.
yeah,
you have to study.
know, yeah.
That's perfect.
But I think Issa's gonna. I think she's getting.
She's gonna take
this
it
year.
down?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Dude.
I hope so.
What the rumors that I've been hearing is there's a lot of good people coming up, you know, and then people think it might have, she had her time, you know, like she had her chance last year to beat. Like, I still think it's tough. Franciella's gonna be a beast, but she's also getting older. So I think she was very surprised when she won last year, but she's still looking good. Honestly, on the record, you're my favorite wellness competitor.
Oh,
So, I'm not just saying
yeah.
that. Like, and I'm a fan of wellness. I wouldn't say I'm an ultra fan, right? I don't really have the
Right.
most wellness competitors. And it's weird because the more I grow in the sport, right? Like I didn't really know much about figure. Now I know like everything about figure. I didn't know shit about women's physique until I started coaching her. Now I know so much. I know all the athletes, right?
Yeah.
And like wellness is still one of those like newer divisions for me. So you're my
Right, it's
favorite on
coming up.
record.
Thank you.
So turn pro
You
and get
heard
out
it here
there.
first.
Yes, I'm rooting
Figure
for
was
you.
my first show that I
Wow.
ever did. I
Wow.
did Clash in I think 2021, I
Yeah.
think, and I loved it. But just my shape was just not.
Yeah.
I was
That
really
was the same
small.
for me too. And I'm happy to not be wearing shoes.
Yeah.
Well, that's where like
Fuck
Natalia
that.
was at too. Like she was at the point where like it's awkward seeing her in heels, right? So the second those heels come off, you want to pose. Like that's where she was at. She's like, I want to fucking
When
hit
you have
poses.
the muscle, you don't just want to spin
Yeah.
it in a box.
Yeah.
You know, you want to flex that shit.
Yeah.
It's so much more fun.
Yeah.
I love my heels. They make my calves like 10 times
Dude,
bigger.
you look great. Your back pose, dude, is like every time you post, I'm just like, how is
Night
she
and
not gonna
day
just lights out?
difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's lights out.
I did a video of my back pose the morning of Ultimate Grand Prix to like 8 days out from Southern States. Oh my gosh.
Ridiculous.
Like night and day. It's
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah. No. What's the secret? What's the secret?
Very, very
These
proud of
wellness girls
that.
want to know how do you get that looking like that?
You hire Dylan as a coach. He's just, I don't know, like my cardio this whole prep wasn't more than 45 minutes.
Nice. Was that one time or 2 times?
It's just in total.
Just
In
45
total.
minutes, just once a day.
Yep.
Nice.
And I would try to knock it out fasted, but I actually had to pick up morning shift at work. So I told him, I was like, I have to be at work at 4:45 in the morning. Do you want me to get up earlier to do my cardio, or do you want me to do it post-workout? He's like, your body needs rest. I want you to rest, do it post-workout. He's like, as long as you're getting it done.
Yeah.
And that was very, like, to me, that was like, are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're nervous a little bit.
I'm not used to that. I'm used to get the hell up,
Yeah.
do your fast cardio, like,
Yeah.
and suffer, But he was like, no, I want you to rest.
Yeah.
Get through your shift, train, do your post-workout
Yeah,
cardio.
I do think there's a recipe to every division, right? And it takes a lot of coaches a long time to figure it out. Like, I wouldn't say I'm the best at every division. I'm pretty fucking good. I think I'm pretty versatile. But again, you see Fit Body
Yeah.
Fusion, right? They are mastered in bikini.
And bikini.
Mastered.
You saw Alice just won.
Bro, massive.
Yeah.
Killer.
Yeah.
Yes, you can. And again, not fucking surprised, right?
Beat
I'm like,
Ashley.
oh, wow.
I know.
Yo, I saw Ashley up there, and then they had their confirmation round, and I was like, "Yo, Alice looks better than her from the
She
back."
does.
Yo.
She did.
Dude,
After
front to
prejudging,
back.
me and her talked right after prejudging, and I said, I have you winning, but we all know how this fucking sport is.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
don't be mad if you don't, but I personally have you winning.
Right.
So, and she won, and then bringing that shit home to Sarasota. So congrats to her.
Dude, yeah.
That
She
was-
looked
that was an accomplishment.
amazing.
That's so dope.
I was so hyped for her. I was like, dude,
Yeah.
like she's sitting there recording herself and she picked up her crown and I was like, I almost got very emotional for her because I know you could tell how bad she wanted it.
She's a worker. Trust me, I've coached her, and
Yeah.
and she is a fucking worker. That girl works harder than fucking almost.
I
anyone
did
ever
her
worked
tan
with.
at her very first
Yeah.
amateur show in
there
the
you go.
Panhandle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool to say.
That's crazy. You were up there at that Panhandle?
Yeah.
Wow, I don't remember.
I
that.
think that we go up there the third weekend of August.
Wow, okay,
Not
got
looking
you.
forward to it, but
Yeah.
it's okay.
And you know what?
It's
It's nice
work.
up there. It's got Dustin. You got like Dustin right there. All them. It's so beautiful up there.
Right. mhm.
Super nice.
We'll try to go to the water if we can, but 9 times out of 10 we're always so busy with
Yeah.
work. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. We're gonna do this shit this weekend for both of you guys.
yeah.
I mean, I
I'm
could not be
excited.
more excited. I've been envisioning this for Jen for over a year now, and like you get, I'm nervous already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like I'm getting sweaty and
I
shit.
feel like he's more excited about it than me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
But it's good because it's keeping me on track. Because like I was doubting. I'm like, we jumped up from like 13 weeks out to 8 weeks out.
Yeah.
I was like, am I gonna really be ready? Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Trust in the process.
Yeah.
You really think I'm gonna be ready? Yep. Okay. You know, like that's just what I
one thing
needed.
different for me this year too is that last year I was very like, I'm not gonna be ready. I'm not gonna be ready. I'm not gonna be ready. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I would just psych myself out all the time, and that's nobody's fault but my own. But this year I'm like, hell
Yeah.
no. Like I'm ready.
Yeah.
And I tell everybody, I'm like, when I'm up there, or when I'm backstage, next to my competition, I look at them and I'm like props to y'all for being here because I know y'all worked hard, but like y'all didn't work harder than me.
I
Exactly.
showed up.
I
Yep.
promise you.
Mhm.
Well, I
promise
tell them
you.
all the time, like when I'm having these clients do this cardio and do this training, I'm like, you're doing this to make these motherfuckers pay for you
Right.
working this hard, right? Like, and that's how I firmly believe it. Like when I'm on the treadmill for myself and whatever, I'm just like, man, I'm making these guys pay. They ain't no one working fucking harder than me,
Mm-mm. Nope.
And again, like, we're going to do this shit. I mean,
Yeah.
I have a good feeling about it,
Mhm.
we're going to go out there and in 4 days and just demolish everyone. That's
Yeah.
the plan. And that has to be engraved in your fucking head,
Oh, yeah.
and that's the one thing I got to give her really big props on too, because her first national show, she looked like a natural out there. Like it was like, she walked out there like, no problem. Like she had the shit in the bag. And
Yeah.
obviously we thought we did, but we didn't, but this year is a totally different animal.
Different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Different story this
Yeah.
year.
Confidence is everything, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't like allow myself not to feel confident. I was just like,
Mhm.
I gotta own this shit. It's
Yeah.
mine.
I talked to my boss and I was like, I'm trying not to go in, with the mindset of like that I'm gonna win. She was like, no. She's like, you have to have that
Yeah,
mindset
absolutely.
Yeah.
that you're gonna win. And I'm like,
We're not
you know
going
what,
for
you're
second
right.
place.
No, I'm fucking done
No.
with
We're
getting
third.
second.
I'll take second this
I'm
time. Yeah,
done.
top two.
We
but,
will
like,
take second, guys. Okay. We're going for first.
Top
you
two
know?
Yeah.
get pro cards, right?
Yes.
That
Top
show?
two. Yep.
I
For
want
every division.
second. I want
Except for
first
bodybuilding.
anyway.
So I want overall with her. I want overall. Like I want to be
Yeah.
3 for 3 overalls. Like if you get with me and we get a pro card, you're beating fucking everyone. 'Cause
Right.
right now I have Dustin and then I have Alice for a pro. So if I get her and she gets the overall, wow, that'd be pretty fun.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Fun. That'd be crazy.
You
But
guys
I'm
know
good
what's
with the pro card.
We're getting short on time, so in order to wrap it up here, what piece of motivation would you want to give out there to our viewers who are going to come up and be in your position?
You're never gonna be ready. You're never gonna think now is a great time. Just fucking do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Just jump in. You know, I think my first show last year, I came in as a lifestyle client, and he's like, "Hey, we're 12 weeks out from Sarasota. You want to do a show?" And I'm like, "Sure, why not?" Like, fucking do it. Don't overthink it.
No. Yeah, that's like my mantra. Like I have it on my belt when I train. It says "Do it anyway." I live by that. You're tired, do it anyway.
Yep.
You're scared, do it. Like if it doesn't scare you, is it really worth, doing what you're doing, or should you up it up a little bit? I started at the YMCA doing body pump and Zumba
Same. Yep.
like
now you're
11,
here.
12 years ago, and I would walk by the weight room, and I'm like, man, like I want to do pull-ups, and I want to, go lift those weights, and I was self-taught, an athlete growing up, because my dad, but training, I was self-taught, and I taught myself everything that I know up until I did hire a coach a few years ago, and now I'm a competitor. But just do it anyway.
Yeah, no, I love that you guys said that, and it's so freaking true. Like, and it's like, especially like, I'll tell you a little story real quick. I know we got much time, but there's certain things that like just have to be done, right? And like, long story short, I had to chase this guy down a few years ago, right? And it was like one of those things where just fucking do it anyway. Like it's before something crazy happens, you have no choice. And us being men, whatever, we're protectors, right? But like I had to chase this guy down. He was recording someone, whatever. So I had to chase him down, bring him back. But it was like I had to do it. There's no fucking choice. Like if you want the pro card, dude, you gotta fucking do it, guys. Stop being little pussies and just get out there and fucking do the goddamn work. Because you're versing Cristina and you're versing Jenn, man, and these girls ain't playing. Nope. You're versing Dustin. We went there and sweeped the whole fucking show like it was nothing. So you're versing these animals, man. So I love that. I could not have said it better myself.
Yep.
So.
Absolutely. Yep. You guys hit it on the head on that one. It's all about just getting after it, continue to push. We go this way no matter what. We always go forward. And if in 100%. Fact we do lose, like we get in that second place and everything, it's all about failing forward, learn from that, keep moving in that direction. There's no point in looking over your shoulder, all that shit's gone.
Oh, right, for sure.
It's always about.
But real quick, guys, a lot of you guys are not subscribed. So you guys, we're gonna play your phones right now. You both better be subscribed. Anyway, you guys better subscribe, okay? We get a lot of views, but we get very little subscribers. So subscribe.
60% of y'all aren't subscribed that are viewing over here. So please hit that subscribe button.
Yes.
Yeah, please hit that subscribe. Shoot us a comment. Hit that like button so the algorithm is on point. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so you know when we're posting more of these videos. Thank you, Jenn. Thank you, Cristina.
Thank you for having me.
Good luck this weekend.
Absolutely.
We're bringing 2 home to town.
Let's go. Here we go. Episode 13.
Yes.
Let's get it.
Hell yeah.